Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to focus on adding and subtracting fractions and mixed numbers. So we're going to start with just your basic fractions that have common denominators. We're going to work with fractions and mixed numbers that have uncommon denominators, and then we're also going to be working with integers today. Okay? So at the top, we've got some information about common denominators. When you're doing this, I want you to change all mixed numbers to improper fractions. And that may sound like it's not necessary, but I promise you it's a great habit to get into, and it's going to shorten up the amount of work that you have later. So for now, just bear with me and know that changing those mixed numbers to improper fractions is going to be useful. Add and subtract the numerators only. That's the top number. Okay? And then you're going to leave the denominators the same, or the denominator, yes. Okay? And always, 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 no matter what, you have to reduce to simplest form. All right? So that's what we're doing. All right, so first thing, examples here. For the first one, we have 1/8 plus 3/8. The denominators are already the same. There's no mixed numbers, so I'm just going to leave that denominator as 8, and I'm going to add the numerators together. Now, this can be reduced down by 4 to 1/2. So you have to reduce the lowest terms. Okay? For the second one, again, they already have a common denominator of 4, so I'm going to leave that denominator, and I'm going to subtract the top. 3 minus 1 is 2. Again, I can divide the numerator and the denominator by 2 and reduce that down to 1/2 as well. The next problem does have mixed numbers, so I do want you to change your mixed numbers to improper fractions, and there's a reason for that. So this is going to be 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17, so that's 17 over 8. 3 times 8 is 24 plus 5 is 29 over 8. We're going to leave that common denominator of 8, and we're going to add the numerators. That's 46. I actually can reduce this down because they're both even numbers, so I'm going to divide by 2. So that's going to be 23 over 4. Now I don't want to leave my answer as an improper fraction, so I'm going to divide 4 into 23. That goes in 5 times with 3 left over out of 4. Okay? And our last one, and this is one of the reasons why I get you to change your mixed numbers to improper fractions, because a lot of people will do this. They'll go, oh, 4 minus 1 is 3, and then 3 minus 1 is 2. You can't do that. You can't subtract backwards. So that if you change these to improper fractions, that takes away all of that borrowing and renaming. So just make them improper. So this is going to be 21 over 5 minus 8 over 5. Okay? And then 21 minus 8 is 13 over 5. Now I can't reduce 13 over 5, but I can change that back into a mixed number. 5 goes into 13 2 whole times, which is 10, leaving me with 3 out of 5 left over. So if you change them to improper fractions, and you don't have any borrowing and renaming that you have to do. So that saves you a little bit of time. Okay? All right, so on the bottom, we have uncommon denominators. We're going to do the same thing. We're still going to change the mixed numbers to improper fractions. Okay, and we're going to use the butterfly method. And if you're unfamiliar with the butterfly method, this actually is going to simplify a lot of things for you. You don't have to deal with the common denominators or any of that kind of stuff. So this hopefully will make things easier for you to do. All right, so butterfly method says we are going to cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 1, and that gives me 3. And I'm going to bring a plus sign, and I'm going to multiply 6 times 2. That's 12. And then I'm going to multiply the 2 denominators together and get 18. And the reason it's called a butterfly method is this kind of looks like a butterfly. So I'm going to do 3 plus 12 is 15, and I'm going to bring over that 18. And then reduce. That's it. No common denominators, no renaming fractions, just 3 multiplications, and then perform either your addition or subtraction. Reduces down to 5 over 6. Okay? Butterfly method. Love it. All right, let's do the same thing here. 4 times 3 is 12. Bring your subtraction sign up. 5 times 1 is 5. Multiply the two denominators together. 5 times 3 is 15. 12 minus 5 is 7. Bring over that 15. 7/15 cannot be reduced. Therefore, you are done. All right. Now let's do the mixed numbers at the bottom. We do need to make these improper fractions. So I'm going to take the first. You're going to multiply 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Keep the denominator. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Keep the denominator. Butterfly method. 5 times 3 is 15. Bring the plus sign. 8 times 2 is 16. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, that's going to give me 31 over 6. That cannot be reduced, but I can divide 31 into 6 5 whole times, which is 30 with 1/6 left over. And our last one on the front, 11 minus 8 and 2/3. Now, to change 11 into a fraction, we're going to put 11 over 1. Any whole number becomes a fraction by putting it over 1. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 2 is 26 thirds. Cross multiply. 3 times 11 is 33, minus 1 times 26 is 26. 1 times 3 is 3. That's going to give me 7 thirds. Cannot reduce that, but 3 does go into 7 2 times, which is 6, with 1/3 left over. Okay? So butterfly method makes life very, very easy. All right, let's flip over to the back. And we have to make sure that we are able to do fractions that have integers involved. So we're going to be using some integer rules with these fractions. So we're still changing mixed numbers to improper fractions. And when you have when a negative is present, we do not use the negative when we convert the mixed numbers to improper fractions. And I'll show you why. So this is where you do not want to use your calculator, or you do not want to put the negative in your calculator. Okay? So if I do -3 1/5 and I want to make it improper, I just want to ignore that negative in front of the 3 and just bring it over here. And then I'm going to do 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16, and bring over my denominator. If you were to put this in your calculator and say -3 times 5, that's going to say -15 plus 1 is going to give you -14. So it's going to give you a wrong answer. So when you're converting these, this negative sign just gets brought over here. Okay? 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14 thirds. All right, so do not put that negative in your calculator when you are doing your conversions, because that will give you a wrong conversion. So don't use it. Just bring it over. All right, so let's do these. We're going to do butterfly method. So I'm going to do 6 times -3. So be careful with that. 6 times -3 is -18. Bring down your plus sign. 7 times 1 is 7. And 7 times 6 is 42. So you're going to use your integer rules here. -18 plus 7 is -11, and bring over your 42. Now that cannot be reduced, so that is in simplest form. So you're still doing butterfly method with these. All right, for this one, I need to do some conversions. -1 and 7/8. Remember, the negative sign comes down. We're going to ignore it. 1 times 8 is 8, plus 7 is 15 eighths. Bring down your plus sign. Again, this negative sign comes down. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7 halves. Okay? Then we're going to cross multiply. -15 times 2, that's -30. Bring down your plus sign. 8 times -7, -56. And then 8 times 2 for my denominator is 16. Then I'm going to add the top. I have a negative plus a negative, so I add and keep the sign. So that's -86 over 16. Now again, I see these are even numbers, and I know all even numbers are divisible by 2, so I'm going to reduce this first before I do anything else, and that's going to give me negative 43 over 8. Then, bring your negative sign over. 8 goes into 43 5 times, with 3 out of 8 left over. Okay, and this is our last one for notes. Again, we're going to make these mixed numbers improper fractions. 1 times 5 is 5, plus 2 is 7. Fifths minus, we're going to bring this negative sign down. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15 fourths. Okay, cross multiply. 4 times 7 is 28. Bring your subtraction sign. 5 times negative 15, be careful of that, is a negative 75. And then 5 times 4 is 20. Now remember with this, your integer rules say if you have minus a negative, you can change your subtraction to addition, your second number to its opposite. We're a little low on the screen there, sorry about that. And so we're actually going to add these together and get 103 over 20. Now again, this can't reduce, but I can divide 20 into 103. That goes in 5 times, which is 100, with 3/20ths left over. Okay, so that is it for our lesson on adding and subtracting fractions with integers. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.